your voice, maybe I could call you or something. I just want to make sure that everything is clear. Okay, so your question is what happened to him after he awakened? Well, Siddhartha Gautama, when he attained the highest level of enlightenment, he knew everything about the universe, the whole truth of the universe. So lahat-lahat naintindihan niya everything. So why we suffer and the solution to our suffering. No, and that's why Sakyamuni Buddha came to this earth so that all human beings will know the purpose of life, no, and how to solve our suffering. Okay, so we have Vichel on Zoom. Hi, Vichel, how are you?
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, hi. I've been seeing your FB post and Instagram, and like you're having a great time. So it's always amazing to see your posts.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I have here Paul. Unfortunately, Paul is having issues with his microphone, but maybe if you want to say hi to him, you may.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah. Paul is a new student that I'm teaching Buddhism, and we just finished the basics of Buddhism. So Sakyamuni Buddha came here on earth so that he could teach us the way or the solution to our suffering. No? And today I would like to talk about the purpose of our life as an introduction. No? So I would like to share my screen. And maybe we can first read. This is from the book You Were Born for a Reason. This is the introduction. And Paul, maybe if we could meet one day, I would like to give you a copy of this book so you can read this. So, maybe Vichel, are you okay to read tonight?
Sure.
Introduction only. Yes. Can you see it
All
clearly?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Introduction. Today, in countries around the world, people enjoy wealth and comfort unheard of in centuries past. Medical and scientific advances mean that we live longer and have greater ability to change and control our environment to suit our needs. But have these advantages brought greater happiness? Modern society is plagued with ills such as violence in its many forms, including tyranny, terrorism, murder, and suicide. Real answers to these problems continue to elude us. Our advances may have made us richer, but they have not done anything to ensure our happiness or provide us with a sense of abiding meaningfulness. In fact, modern life often seems to only bring more acute feelings of isolation, loneliness, and emptiness. Why is it that, although blessed with physical health and abundant lifestyle, we cannot find heart's ease? This question was addressed more than 2,500 years ago in India by Siddhartha Gautama Sakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism. Born a prince, he excelled in boyhood in literary and military arts. He wedded the loveliest young woman in the kingdom. He lacked for nothing. Yet his heart was not cheered in the least. He passed the days despondently, knowing that even though good health, treasure, status, honor, family, and talent were his, he would one day lose them all. No earthly happiness could prevail over old age, sickness, and death. Realizing the nature of human existence, Siddhartha was unable to experience true ease of or satisfaction.
Okay.
Do I continue?
Yeah, I would. Is it okay if you maybe read until the yellow part?
Sure.
Okay.
Finally, when he was 29 years old, he crept out of the palace one night in search of true happiness. For 6 years, he lived the life of a mountain ascetic until his eyes were opened to the truth that all people can obtain absolute happiness and he achieved Buddhahood. The lessons taught by Shakyamuni Buddha are timelessly true. We all are vulnerable to the devastation of sudden illness, striking oneself, or a loved one. And although we may immerse ourselves in a work or hobby, the day will come when old age prevents us from enjoying such activities. When we die, moreover, we must part from those we love. What is there in life that will never betray us, that we can devote ourselves to without regret? Throughout his life, Sakyamuni continued to teach that the purpose of life is none other than to gain unassailable, eternal happiness. In Japan, the essence of this message was preached by Shinran, the founder of Shin Buddhism.
Wow. Thank you so much, Vichel, for reading.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Paul, remember last time we covered who Master Shinran was, right? Remember that there were more than 7,000 sutras that were written by Sakyamuni Buddha's disciples. And Master Shinran was one of those very rare people who have read the entire 7,000 sutras, right? So, binasa niya lahat ng yon and naintindihan niya the entire purpose or message of the entire volumes of 7,000 sutras. So Master Shinran laid out the purpose of life, and this is what we're gonna discuss about tonight, no? And urged its attainment with incomparable clarity. So it's very clear. If we keep on listening to Buddhism, the answer is very clear. Kung ano yung purpose of life. I think you sent me a chat yesterday asking what the purpose of life is. Master Shinran gave us a clear answer. The universal purpose of life is to destroy the root of suffering, and gain joy in being alive so that you rejoice at having been born human and live on in eternal happiness. No matter how hard your life may be, keep on until you accomplish this purpose because life can be very tough. No, it's full of suffering, right? But no matter how difficult your life is, Sakyamuni Buddha teaches us keep on, keep going until you accomplish this sacred purpose, right? So the 9 decades of his life were focused single-mindedly on this message. Yet mankind today remains lost in the dark, ignorant of life's purpose and unsure whether life has any meaning. Not some people, unfortunately, kill themselves, commit suicide, not just in the Philippines but worldwide, right? So war, murder, suicide, violence, abuse. Could it be that all such tragedies arise out of the darkness of mind that cannot make sense of life? A lot of people they cannot make sense of what's happening in life, and so that's why they commit violence and suicide. So, or they can't find any reasons to go on living. Now, simply lowering the legal age of criminal responsibility is not a solution, since it will not reform the hearts of these young offenders who have no awareness of their wrongdoing. These terrible blights on society will resist all countermeasures unless the dignity and purpose of life are made clear, right? Until that happens, any action is as futile and transitory as drawing pictures on the water. Is there a purpose in life or not? What is the meaning of life? These age old questions cry out for clear answers. And Shinran stated that the purpose of life, more plainly than ever before, and urged its attainment. He is indeed the light of the world that breaks through the dark delusions of human race. Okay, so I'm gonna, right, okay, let's start here. The importance of knowing the purpose. Okay, German hostages in the World War II. An international law prohibited the Americans from killing the prisoners, but they still wanted to inflict the most pain on them. Pretty cruel, right? They could have used the usual torture methods that inflict pain on the body. An American psychologist came up with an idea. Make the prisoners dig a hole. In the morning, the prisoners dig a hole. It seems pretty much basic, just dig a hole. As long as one has the tools, no? Like shovel, that's pretty much not a problem for some people, right? And they start to wonder what they're digging for, no? Para saan ba yung pagdidig nila? So maybe we are making the foundation of a building. Maybe we are digging holes to bury ourselves, right? So they're having these assumptions. but they are never told what the purpose of digging the hole is. It was never revealed to them kung ano yung purpose, why they are digging the hole. They are ordered without any explanation to fill it up. And then they would think we were probably digging the wrong spot, they think. The next day, however, they are brought to the exact same spot and are told to dig a hole again. And after digging for the whole day, they are told to fill it up. So it's like digging and then filling it up, digging, then filling it up, right? No matter how painful it may be, they could do it if there was a purpose, right? If there is a purpose, they will be able to put energy into digging that hole. But they are ordered to repeat a purposeless, meaningless task endlessly. So paulit-ulit, no? You can imagine, try to put yourselves in their situation, right? So it would be purposeless and meaningless task. So through all this, some prisoners start to question, how long is this going to last? Those who felt that they could no longer bear this meaningless task committed suicide. Within a week, they had all ended their lives by hitting their heads on a stone or biting off their own tongues. That's kind of gruesome, right? To imagine. So this was the effect because oops, they didn't have a clear purpose. They kept on digging and filling, and then the next day ganun ulit, paulit-ulit, and this was suggested by a psychologist, right? The US Army was able to kill the hostages in the most suffering way without using their own hands. The reason it is suffering to repeatedly dig and fill a hole is because it is meaningless. The longer one continues an action that hasn't a purpose, the more suffering there is. So, what do you guys think about this story? Is this the first time you heard about the story, Vichel, by any chance?
It's also the same story that teacher Frank told me during our first lesson.
Oh, really? Okay, I see. Hmm. And do you feel the same way as before, or what are your
I
thoughts?
think, yeah, in modern times, corporate slavery reflects that.
Yes, yes, yes. Ah, I see. Okay, Paul has a comment. I feel empty, yet I know I have something, but I have no idea what that is. Yes, okay. Um, I'm glad you reached out to me, Paul, and you're listening to Buddhism. So there is a purpose as taught in Buddhism, and it is taught by Master Shinran, clearly. Okay. So in the case of the hostages, they would have been able to continue the task if there was a purpose, right? We are able to do anything if there is a clear purpose. This also applies to life. And since life is suffering, it is hard to continue to live if there is no clear purpose that we have to live for. Um, it's true, isn't it? Like it's very difficult if you go to work without any purpose and you just go there. There's actually a Netflix series that I maybe I could share later. I forgot the term, but this is animated, and in that series the world is about to end. There's like a big planet trying to get near to Earth and
That's
the world
very nice, that series.
yeah, I think you've seen it or not yet, Vichal. Maybe
The
not.
woman there, yeah.
Mm,
The what's her name? Yeah,
ah, Basta yun, and it was amazing because they were looking for meaning. They go to work without even having to be paid for salary because they just feel that that's their purpose, no? So you can see here that there is desire for us human beings to seek for meaning and purpose. And in the example here, in the hostages, since they don't have any purpose, they eventually just killed themselves. So to tell a hostage just to dig a hole is the same as telling a human being just to live. To say dig with all your effort is the same as saying live with all your effort. To tell a person that to dig in itself is important is the same as saying to live in itself is important. We all wonder why. A hostage who is digging with all his might will wonder why. A person who is living very seriously with all his effort will ponder why he does so. Para saan ba itong ginagawa ko? And as a conclusion, they will think, why do I need to dig so seriously if I am going to fill it up in the end? Right? This kind of thinking is only natural. In regards to our life, it would be, it is the same to die now if I am going to die in the end. Why do I have to live so seriously now if I am going to die anyway? The reason we listen to Buddhism is because it teaches us to dig the hole, because there is a reason for digging it. So we listen to Buddhism because there is a reason. And for sure, there will come a time when we will be able to say, I am so glad I have continued digging. So digging here in Buddhism's context is listening to Buddhism. And what we're doing right now is we are listening to Buddhism. And even if I am the one hosting this lecture, I'm also listening to Buddhism. So I'm actually grateful for you, Paul, and to Vichel because I'm able to teach Buddhism and therefore listen to Buddhism as well. So Buddhism teaches that this digging, this listening has a purpose. And there will come a time when we will be able to say or shout that I'm so glad I have continued digging or listening. In Buddhism, there is may pa-quiz pa, no? So that's not so here in Buddhism there is a clear purpose, right? There is the vertical line and the horizontal line. Imagine this is you, Paul, no? Once you started listening to Buddhism, and if you keep on listening to Buddhism, there will come a time when you will reach this vertical line. And this is the line where you will shout that you are grateful that you have kept on digging or listening to Buddhism. And this happens not after death, but once we are alive. Huh? So going back, if you dig a hole with all your effort and were able to construct a building that was of great benefit to all people, you will feel very glad after its completion. Likewise, when we get absolute happiness, we will be able to say, it was for this reason that I continued living. I am so glad that I put in all my effort into living. It is a truth that people suffer when they have to do something that has no meaning. Similarly, if you live your life without a clear purpose, your life will be suffering. But when you know the purpose of life, all your actions are filled with meaning. With meaning, everything will have meaning. Um, when you wake up and you, how do you say, drink coffee or have your breakfast or exercise, that will bring meaning because you're trying to sustain your life, you're trying to be healthy so you can pursue the purpose of life as taught in Buddhism, no? So once you keep on pursuing this purpose of life as taught by Sakyamuni Buddha, your life will now have meaning, right? It's gonna change because now you know that you have this purpose to achieve as taught by Buddha. So attaining the purpose of life is taught by Buddha, and we are encouraged to attain that purpose as soon as we can. And this is the sole purpose or message of Sakyamuni Buddha, the ultimate purpose of Buddhism. Okay, so does anyone have any questions before we move on to the next topic? Vichel, do you have any
So far,
thoughts?
so good.
Oh, sorry.
So far, so good.
Okay, awesome. Maybe Paul, let me check the messages. Okay, Paul says he's good. So there is a purpose that Sakyamuni Buddha taught, no? And if we go back here, um, so horizontal and vertical line, this is us, this is me, this is Vichel or Paul, anyone who is pursuing Buddhism as taught by Buddha. The more we listen to Buddhism and move here, the more we get closer to this line. And this line, once we achieve this, this is while we are still alive, right? Not after death. Okay. Okay. Okay, everything has a purpose. Why do you study? In order to get a job. So when I was in college, I didn't know what to get, what major I would get. So my parents that told me to go nursing. So I enrolled to that university in order to get a job, right? In order to go abroad and earn lots of money and make a good living, right? Why do you need to have a job? To earn money. Exactly. Why do you need money? To live. Then why do you live? Right? Question mark. People cannot answer this clearly, and this is very unfortunate. No? Why? Because there is a purpose to all actions. For example, number one, driving, number two, studying, and number three, flying. If there is no purpose to these actions, what will happen? Example number one, driving without a destination. This will sound crazy, right? Like, why would you drive without a destination? Even if you're saying na for ano lang, what's the term? For just to drive for fun, at one point you will have to stop and that will be your destination, right? One cannot drive continuously forever because we got other things to do and the gasoline is pretty pricey, right? And number two, studying with no purpose. No one will study and take like engineering course para lang mag-aral ng engineering. Like why would they do that, right? There's a purpose. They want to be an engineer, right? Flying on an airplane that has no destination. So there is a destination and we fly on the plane so we can arrive in Cebu, Japan, or our desired destination, right? So actions without purpose are pointless and will end in futility. No? If we live without knowing the purpose of life, our life becomes pointless and ends in futility. We would never do something just to do something. Example, drive just to drive, study just to study, and run just to run. Why? Because it doesn't make sense. But when we live without knowing the purpose of life, we are living just to live. This is why we feel empty and anxious. We don't know why we are living, putting in so much effort. When a purpose is clear, we can move to action with all our effort for the first time. Example number one, studying to get a job or pass an exam, running a marathon to get to the finish line. Then what is the purpose of life? How can we learn about it? More importantly, how can we attain it? Buddhism teaches about the finishing line of life. The finishing line in life means attaining true and lasting happiness while you are still alive. This is called absolute happiness. No? And again, this happens while you are alive. Absolute happiness. because you can't get it when you're alive. That's why it's called the purpose of life. No? The purpose of life. Um, that's why it's called this way because we attain it while we are alive. Everyone can achieve this by listening to Buddhism. And the first step to this happiness is to know of its existence. The second step is to seek after it. And I hope you will continue to learn Buddhism until you attain true happiness. Okay. Okay, Paul says I got into motorcycle accidents, yet I didn't die. Maybe almost, but I'm still here. Is there something I miss doing or haven't done yet? Yeah, and firstly, sorry to hear about your motor accidents. Accidents talaga, so meaning maraming beses, right, Paul? That's quite, that's terrible, but I'm glad you're safe and alive and able to listen to Buddhism. So, absolutely, there is. You have an important mission as taught by Sakyamuni Buddha, no? Oh, 4 times accident. Yeah. So be careful next time, Paul. Have you're taking care of yourself, right? You've identified the reason why you were on those accidents? Because we're gonna talk about the law of karma next, the law of cause and effect, and we will learn how things happen, right? What the reason, what the underlying reasons are, because there is always a reason why things are happening, and we will cover that on the law of karma. So yeah, I'm happy you're here and able to listen to Buddhism. And Paul, the more we learn about the purpose of life, the more we advance on Buddhism, you will know clearly what this you will know more about true happiness, what absolute happiness is. And actually, that's very important to listen to over and over again until we attain it. No? So, yeah, let's keep on listening to the Dharma. Any other questions, Paul? Or maybe Vichel?
All good. And I hope you stay safe, Paul.
Yes, that's very important. So, yeah, I think okay. Speaking of happiness, nothing satisfies me these days. Or maybe I forgot to be happy. Oh, really, Paul? Hmm.
I can relate to Paul when I was first studying Buddhism.
Oh,
I
really?
told Frank Sensei that during my first lessons, like every day I wake up, like I feel like I'm drowning.
Hmm.
And I hope Paul continues to listen because this Buddhism really, really helped me.
Hmm. Oh, wow. It's amazing, Vichel. Awesome. Yeah, I could say the same way too. But oh, awesome. It really changes a lot, right? Once you know there's that your life is has this clear purpose and the more you, for example, I met Frank, teacher Frank, and he is such a cool and good guy. Like he really influenced me a lot with his healthy habits and his good deeds. Na-influence akong gawin rin yun. So, ginagaya ko siya, right? And good deeds in Buddhism, the more we do good deeds towards ourselves and towards other people, the more we become happier. So, the more you associate with people like Vichel or Frank, who keeps on pursuing Buddhism, because these people they try to do good deeds as much as possible, and you can feel their passion and their warmth, their determination. Nakaka Nakaka-inspire, and you also do the same way. In the law of cause and effect as taught by Buddha and Paul, this is about the law of karma. No, I'm gonna give a short um intro about the law of karma, but we'll cover this in more detail. In the law of cause and effect, Sakyamuni Buddha taught that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. and our own deeds bring our own results. Those are the three lines. This was, he knew about this law of cause and effect when he attained supreme enlightenment. No? And to some people, this might seem like, oh, obvious naman eh, kasi basic naman na pag gumawa ka ng maayos at maganda, then that's basic, right? But it's difficult to do, and we are encouraged to do that, no? But some people, they tend to downplay the law of cause and effect since basic lang for them. But actually, Sakyamuni Buddha's understanding of this law of cause and effect is way different than how he taught it for us. I want to be more specific, no? So Sakyamuni Buddha has the Buddha's enlightenment. He understood this law of cause and effect in a bigger, more complex way than us human beings. So, in order for him to teach us about the law of cause and effect, he had to explain it in such a way that we will understand it and still be able to practice it. No? So, we are encouraged to practice good deeds as many times as we can. Okay, okay, I have a question. How can we achieve true happiness? I mean, without contradictions, because I believe if there's happiness, there's sorrow. If you laugh, you cry. Yes, this is true. Um, there is Sakyamuni Buddha also declared that life is suffering. No, we all suffer. And we can cover this next time, the types of suffering in detail, no? But that was not his conclusion. He does not say, no, okay, we are just born to suffer. There is a solution to that suffering. So, this is something we can cover next time. But the answer here, short answer here is that keep on listening to the teachings, keep on listening to Buddhism, keep on practicing good deeds, and we will the more we do that, the more we follow Buddha's teachings, the more we follow the path, the more we get closer to this line of absolute happiness. Actually, um, diba, the more we do good deeds, the more we get good results. We become happier. If you do a good job at work, you get promoted, you get praises from your bosses, you get commissions. The more we become happier materially, our relationships improve, you know? Um, it's a win-win situation. The more we get temp the more we get temporary happiness as we pursue, the more we get closer to this absolute happiness. So a lot of Buddhists that I know, they're happy with their lives, they're happy with their achievements, and they get closer to this absolute happiness. So yeah, okay. So we only have 3 minutes left. If you guys have any other questions. So by the way, Vichel, are you going to Japan this month or next year?
Not yet, cause ano, the problem is the passport. What do you call this? I'd have to leave it, 'di ba, dun sa may center. So, I cannot fly without without my passport. So, yeah. I
I
want to though. I'm really looking forward na makapunta dun sa Taoyama? Taoyama,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
problem here. Similar problem. My visa was denied, but I'm gonna try again next year.
Yeah, next year. Pag
Yes.
maayos na yung process. I think it's because of the transition din sa VFS. Kaya marami
Oh,
nade-deny.
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Pero
Yes.
yeah, hopefully, tapos itataon ko sa vacation leave ko yung pagkuha ng, what do you call this, visa. Kasi bawal dito, wala akong passport. Eh,
Oh,
minsan daw umabot ng 3 months.
mm,
Depende.
I see. I see. Yeah, in line with that, Bichel, so since I'm not going to Japan, I will be hosting the event in Manila
Oh, sige,
on
tama.
Yeah.
Sama agad. Tara,
October.
Paul!
Yeah, I'm inviting Paul sana if he can join October 25 and 26. So I'll send my
25 and 26. Uy, sakto. Off ako.
Ganun. Sige. So
Mm-mm.
I've also invited Paul. Maybe hopefully Paul you can join us. So yeah, just let me know.
Nice meeting you too, Paul. Hope to see you in more lessons.
All right, so time has come, and so I'm grateful for the opportunity to share Buddhism with you guys. And have a great Sunday and take care.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.